Good morning, SPs. Hey, Kia. Hey, Cricket. Welcome in. We've got an exciting show today because Friday was pretty lit. There was lots of protesting going on. I want to start first, though, with an announcement from the Aftermath Foundation. I should say my caveat first, though. Hey, Mock. Good morning. I'm going to feature people you don't like. You're not going to like everyone I feature. It's just a fact. Move along. I'm featuring the topic, not the personalities, right? What was that saying? Principles over personalities. So, first clip, I have an announcement from the Aftermath Foundation. Let's play that.
When the Aftermath Foundation was formed, we jumped at the opportunity to continue our efforts to help people start their lives. It's incredibly important to me personally, as someone who was born into Scientology and honestly never imagined I would be able to have the life I always had dreamed of. Being able to start over was incredibly meaningful to me personally. And so to afford that opportunity to others is absolutely something I am deeply committed to.
There's never really been any smooth way for someone to leave Scientology. They're standing for the individual in Scientology who is being abused.
So online bidding opens at 3:00. No, I'm sorry. I'm reading that wrong. On March 10th at 5 p.m. Mountain daytime. So check that out. Aftermath Foundation is holding a comedy and auction. Next, there was one that dropped Friday in the middle of my show. It was SP Chef. Let's see a little bit from him.
By these questions. And of course, I'm not an expert. I'm an ex-Scientologist, and I can only tell you how it was being in that mindset, how it felt when people asked me such questions, even those examples I gave you before that are fairly neutral or even friendly questions. It made me feel very uncomfortable because the truth is that I didn't really know many of the answers. Now, I would tell myself that I probably am just too stupid, or I didn't do enough Scientology. I haven't done the right courses to really fully understand it and being able to, communicate the answer in a more proper way. But another part of me was more that you did not offend my religion or my belief system. It was more that you offended me directly, because in Scientology, the ideas and the concepts of Scientology are so part of you that you are not, it is not that you are a Scientologist as a sort of thing you do besides living your normal life. It becomes part of your identity. So if somebody criticizes Scientology, it is very much like they're criticizing you personally. And that is why people get so quickly offended and very defensive about it, because you are criticizing them directly rather than the organization, or so it seems to them. And that was also for me, because it was completely my identity. My whole life was about that. Now, of course, my circumstance is maybe not the same.
Well, that must be the place to
Same as
stop.
other ex-Scientologists, because I actually grew up in it, so I didn't really have any choice. I didn't really have any other life before that I was able to compare it to with anything else. But for me, it was clear my life is there only to serve Scientology and to be something useful to Scientology, to be a little cog or a drop of oil in the machine of Scientology to make sure it's working smoothly and it's fulfilling its goals and so on and so forth. And the idea of having your own aspirations, your own dreams, what you want to become, and so on and so forth, they were pretty much suppressed or ignored unless they were beneficial for Scientology itself. Now, this is much more so the case if you actually work for Scientology. So if you're a staff member in one of those smaller organizations that you find scattered all over the world, or of course, when you are in the SEOC, which is the elite organizations. And then, obviously, when you were a staff member, a SEOC member, there's absolutely no space for, well, I would like, when I grew up, I would like to do this, that, and the other. Because once you have done your beginning training to actually start working as a staff member or as a SEOC member, you just get put wherever they need staff. It doesn't matter really what you want to do. Of course, they will ask you, and if it happens to match with where they need personnel, then perfect. But if it doesn't match, well, then tough luck. You just be put there. And so Scientology very much is part of you. It is part of your identity. And so if you attack or confront the idea of Scientology and what it stands for and what it means, really what you're doing is you're attacking the person itself directly, even if, of course, you don't mean to do that, because how should you know that? And so the question is, another question one could ask, okay, well, if I want to talk to a Scientologist, how do I do so without them shutting down? And the only thing I can say to that, again, from my own experience, is with a lot of patience, a lot of time, and very gently and slowly. So you have to you have to build up a friendship with the person, a friendship, an important friendship, a good friendship. Make sure you're always there for them. And then slowly but surely, you can ask slightly critical questions. And because a certain amount of friendship or trustfulness has been established, they might respond. Or something that I did, for example, with my brother, although, of course, now he doesn't talk to me anymore, but I managed to have him also say critical things about Scientology. I would say things like, oh, wasn't it funny when this and this happened when we were children? And then I would immediately change the subject and sort of just drop the seeds and hope that they take root. And I would say something like that. So not directly be critical about it, but sort of make almost a little fun of the situation, take the piss out of it, of a certain situation, but then quickly change the subject so that we don't really get into it. However, because I talked about it, it just sort of remained in his mind a little bit. And later on over the years, I also managed to have him say things critical of Scientology, which years before he would never have done so. So it has worked with him. And now, of course, we are brothers, so maybe there is a certain level of trust a little bit more there.
Some good advice from Samuel about how you can plant little seeds of doubt to get them to slowly open up. But if you directly ask them questions, a lot of times they internalize that and take it personally. It's sad that his brother's not talking to him now. Next, we have a clip from Scooter Mom. Scooter Mom shared a protest in Toronto from Rumble Rambles, I think it is.
They're adults in small bodies. My honeys, I hope you get out someday. I hope you get to wake up. Do they put you on the cans already? Yeah, they audit you, don't they? Yeah. You're making your children, you're stealing their childhood. You're stealing their childhood. Are you Publix? So you pay? Oh, you're losing your grip on the... You're supposed to meet my emotions. So if I get really, really excited and all that, you're supposed to meet me there. The Aftermath Foundation can help you, but you've got money. You're Publix. You're pumping this thing up. You're making David Miscavige the millionaire he already is. Sure.
That was great. That was so great that Scooter Mom shared that with us, because that is on Facebook Live. And I don't Facebook, so I would never have seen this. So thank you, Scooter Mom, for being on top of it. Another perspective from that same protest, Haggis Basher. She was out in force.
Scientology, 888 FREE 002. Scientology is a child abusing human trafficking cult. Child auditing is not okay. Asking small children sexual questions is not okay. They're inside on their phones. I just saw the reflection in the glass. They're having a moment.
You can see how cold it was, and they were out there for hours. Amazing job, Haggis. I really appreciate you. Speaking of appreciating Haggis, let's see, it's always a good time to share her other webpage. She has a webpage, guys. Victims Have Voices, empowering survivors, raising awareness. Your thoughts are valid. And there's a whole slew of resources. That wasn't on my mod's drop link, so if it's not dropped, you can check it out in the description. I'll add it in there. But there's lots of resources here that would be excellent for someone who's just getting out or thinking of getting out. You can see survivors' stories, how to contact the FBI, law firm information, legal actions, what are the crimes. It's a valuable resource. Let's see, where were we? We are next going to Austin, Texas.
All we hope is that we can put a comment in their ear or a thought. And we've found this out from people who have left. It may take 10 years, but it puts, so I'll say stuff to them like, why are you not allowed to read whatever you want to read? Why are you not allowed on the internet? Why are you not allowed to watch TV? Why are you only allowed to read one author? They have a bookstore in here. It's all L. Ron Hubbard. That guy wrote a lot of, he was a science fiction writer before he created this religion.
The whole religion is science fiction, Kim.
Okay. Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah. See, and that's something I'll push back on. And the reason is I've read their first book. I've seen a lot of the ex-members and their stories. And the thing is, it's not about being dumb. Very intelligent people get pulled in. What it is they find a weakness or a need, and they say they can help you. And it's a slow burn, okay? They love bomb you. They start you off buying these cheap courses, and every week they do a graduation and cheer everybody on, and it's a love bomb thing. And by the time they kind of figure out something's wrong, they're all in. They're being controlled and don't realize it. They've probably had them alienate their friends and family, or they've brought their family in, or they've gotten a job with a Scientologist. And so now to try to leave is hard. And they find that we call them under the radar Scientologists. They know it's BS, but they can't leave. Because not only that, they have a dirty tricks department that if you speak out against them afterwards, they'll come after you. You have to disconnect from all your friends and family inside. We think that's why John Travolta won't even leave, because a lot of his friends are in Scientology and he wants to stay on good terms. Hey, hi.
Miss Kim out in Austin. She's on fire. She does great work. She's very well informed. She's kind. She's all the things.
What do I want to do? I want to go walk down here.
Lauren with the C was out in Clearwater.
That sounded terrible. So this is what we're doing. It looks really pretty. This is their biggest building. This is like their mecca. But you notice how many people are here. Not very many. That's probably the most cars that are parked out there all night.
Look at that beautiful sunset.
But this is their like main building. A bunch of my friends have had to do courses and classes as children in a lot of these buildings. My friends were assaulted in these buildings. Don't put up with that, period. We don't put up with inhumane activities anymore. That was probably, oh look, there's one in their uniform. You see, it looks like resort wear. It's so weird. Those clouds are awesome though.
Lauren with the C was out at Target 1 in Clearwater. Also out in Target 1 was Erica, definite trouble source, and she was up to shenanigans. She was really funny.
In order to celebrate our win, I thought I could go through I've got a secret weapon. Well, first I thought I would do a get ready with me. I will show here so I will do this, but I'm not really able to access how much I want for my makeup. So if you're new here, we are protesting Scientology in the biggest, largest Scientology location in the world. It's the Clearwater Spiritual Headquarters of Scientology. It's 84 degrees, but I'm in the shade.
She did an Aaron Smith Levin themed Get Ready With Me where she did all of her makeup in blue, like to mimic the blue chalk. It was pretty funny. Good job, definite trouble source, also out in at Target 1. Next, I have a clip from Aaron Smith Levin at Growing Up in Scientology. Oop, there we go.
Jack is saying, are you allowed back to the main building? I'll be allowed back there in 6 weeks. 6 weeks.
Yeah, he was a little further removed. They call this Target 2.
I still have one more charge to fight, one more trial. It's April 14th in 6 weeks, and then I'll be able to go back to the building. The truth is, if the state attorney has any common sense whatsoever, they will drop the second charge before we go to trial. But I'm actually hoping they don't drop the charge because I want to go 2-0 against Scientology in the state of Florida. I want to go 2-0 against Scientology in the state of Florida. So if they want to puss out and drop the charge, that's fine. But I hope they don't. I hope they don't. You listening to me more than me? I hope you don't drop the charge. And whatever your little incompetent co-counsel was, I can never remember his name. Anyway, I'll see you guys in court. I'll see you guys in court in 6 weeks. We'll run it back again. And they, by the way, the state attorney, you guys know the video that I did the day after the trial? It was about a 90-minute video. I gave you guys like kind of the blow by blow of what happened in court. Would you even believe that the state attorney complained to the judge about what I said in my video? They're literally watching the state attorney is being as much of a stalker as the Church of Scientology. The state attorney literally complained to the judge that I was criticizing them in my video.
That's his right to criticize anybody he wants to. I'm so glad he won his first case. I'm hoping he wins his second case. Let's play a little bit more.
Is there some law that says I'm not allowed to say the state attorneys were completely incompetent and did a horrifically terrible job in court and were totally amateur and were acting like children who had seen lawyers like in the movies and were doing their best to act like lawyers but had no skill or charisma? Am I not allowed to criticize the state attorneys? You guys have to be out of your mind to think that I'm not allowed to criticize your performance in court on a trial that I won. You guys are so incompetent, and apparently you're stupid as well, okay? You guys got your asses handed to you in court. You think I'm not allowed to do a video telling people about that? You think you can control whether I talk about what happened in a trial that I won? So you're not only incompetent, you're also completely stupid, which means you're definitely not smart enough to drop the charges. So I'll see you guys in court in 6 weeks. Something tells
That was really funny.
me
Actually,
you're not going to be any better the second time than you were the first time.
so Aaron out there, he's riled up and he's ready for trial 2 to come. Next, I have hopping to the other side of the country, same day, different protest, Tori McGoo.
That's Professor Khan. Good thinking. Philip Seymour Hoffman passed a year after playing L. Ron Hubbard. Wow. In the Master movie. I always thought it was suspicious. Isn't that interesting? I didn't know that. Did you know that?
I didn't know he died.
Wow,
so
I didn't
soon
either.
After that.
I didn't either, but it makes sense.
That was a good movie.
I didn't like it at all.
Oops.
It's okay. A lot of people liked it, but a lot of people didn't like it. It was like very mixed. Okay, Hagabasher, great Scott. It is not a busy org, Kelly, considering it was supposed to be special St.
Haggis, after her protest, went home and watched Tori and gave Tori some love and support and was interacting and asking questions and talking about her protest. It was fun. So next I have a clip from Eyes to See.
The documents buttress a 2013 report by the Tampa Bay Times detailing a sustained and methodical FBI investigation of the church. Really? With agents traveling to several states, questioning dozens of former Scientologists. But they don't have any statements from the Scientology kids, do they? Dozens of former Scientologists obtaining surveillance video of the church's remote headquarters. Look at that, LAPD. Apparently they can get a hold of video surveillance videos. Weird. Of the church's remote headquarters in the mountains east of Los Angeles, and even contemplating a raid of that facility. Really?
FBI knows. They knows. Why aren't they doing something? Why aren't they doing this raid? They've been investigating for a long time, but this report was from 2013. And they did nothing. So next I have a really funny one from Church of Scientology.
Drumming's a lot like leadership, actually, which is probably why I relate to David Miscavige so much. Timing, precision, discipline. We both believe in tight beats. Everyone follows you. And if someone falls out of time, you hit harder until they get it right. So yeah, I really feel like David and I share the same philosophy. At most venues, you worry about sound check. At Scientology events, you worry about your sec check. Different check, more questions, less music. But it shows David Miscavige cares. We used to improvise solos, not anymore. Spontaneity can indicate hidden intentions. Now every solo's pre-approved. Even our smiles are on policy. Big ones only. Teeth indicate compliance. My daughter left the band.
That's so funny. That is Peter Howell, the drummer from Jive Aces, who has been animated. That smile cracked me up. Let's see if we can see it again. So fake, so forced, so funny. Church of Scientology kills it. Next, I want to show a clip from Alex, from Apostate Alex. Come on. About the RPF.
Oh, you're gone to the RPF. Like he didn't care about. He didn't care.
Imagine being able to build anything
commercial.
just
Sorry about the commercial.
A complete AI creation
About any justice procedure or anything. It would just get rid of people.
Yeah.
But I didn't personally experience that. And I wasn't, because I wasn't at the int base. I was at middle management, which is right under the int base, like administratively. So I didn't directly experience that, but I definitely saw people go to the RPF over the years. I definitely knew people who went to the RPF over the years. And I was just like, I was always like terrified of it, because it was like these people running around in black and they weren't allowed to talk to anybody. And they weren't, they lived in a different, they had to live on the base where the RPF was, and they just.
And, people would say, oh, they make $47 a week. That's terrible. If you're on the RPF, you might not get any pay, or you might get as little as $12 a week. So what is that? $50 a month? It's terrible.
Worked all the time, and a lot of them were there for many, many years. Like, I remember at one point there were like 200 or 300 people on the PAC RPF, and I remember somebody saying, "Oh yeah, it's the size of a St. Hill size org," and that was just the name for an organization that was a Scientology organization that was like fully manned.
See, you did manage to get an org St. Hill size. It just happens to be the RPF. Let me double check that you guys are even seeing and hearing all this stuff, because I haven't checked. You guys hear everything? Can you see everything? Well, you're saying hilarious. Oh, Haggis is here. Hey, Haggis. Heather, welcome in. We had Heather Mac and Cheese last night on my brain's not working on the other cricket. Chow Yun Smut. All right. Looks like you guys must be hearing it if you're dropping links and not shouting at me. Twyla said 5x5. Thank you, Twyla. Next, I have a clip from A Voice Down Under about Japanese Scientologists losing in court.
The doctor. Dr. Noguchi has publicly stated opposition to psychotropic drugs and has promoted removing people from psychiatric medication. Policies on the care home's website emphasize reducing or removing psychotropic drugs from its residents, which is extremely concerning given the vulnerability of elderly people, especially those with dementia. The third person is Satsuki Nakamura, and she works in the childcare facility part of Daizan. She's very high up on the bridge to total freedom in Scientology, reaching OT7, and she works at the Hongo Dianetics mission, lecturing and auditing people. It is common in Scientology for mission staff to moonlight in outside jobs because church pay is extremely low. Nakamura fits that pattern. According to the plaintiff, these three individuals formed a powerful internal bloc. Some staff were fully committed Scientologists. Others did not want to join, but complied completely out of fear, self-preservation, or career survival. Dissenters were excluded.
So to keep your job, you had to join Scientology.
The plaintiff said she was initially praised and valued. That changed after she was given a Scientology book and a DVD by Okoyama around late October. She was encouraged to learn about Scientology and Hubbard's teachings. She went home, researched it, and became alarmed. Scientology is widely regarded as dangerous, coercive, and cult-like. She formally refused. She wrote a letter explaining that she could not accept religious recruitment in the workplace and returned the materials.
T shedding some light on Scientology in Japan. It's a really interesting video. You should watch it. And that is A Voice Down Under. And I have another one from T next about International Women's Day March. Gloria Vale, that's the cult I featured last week from the clip my mom had sent me. I couldn't remember the name of it during the clip, but that's the New Zealand cult. that music's driving me insane. I don't know what she's trying to do with that music, frankly, but the message is really good. So I suggest you just turn the volume down and give this a watch. A Voice Down Under, International Women's Day, protest against the cults, giving some insight on how they abuse women within their ranks. Sunday was lit too. Sunday, Irish Mart went out, and I have 2 clips to share from her. She had some really good interactions. She does great work. Here she is, filling us in on some facts about children in Scientology in Dublin, Ireland.
Oh, thanks very much, Agus. Yeah, no, Donna, there is a little, just beyond the cult library, there is an entrance into the football pitch, all right. They are separate. But you know what these guys try to do? The little bit of a football pitch these guys have themselves, they tried to, when they first opened up here, they tried to turn it into a children's playground. And thankfully that planning permission was denied. But like, for fuck's sake. Can you imagine a kid's playground? Flipping heck, man.
Scientology tried to have a children's playground. Thank goodness the Planning Commission denied them that, because we don't need more children in Scientology. Next, I want to show one of her interactions she had. She had a lot of really good interactions. This one was particularly interesting to me.
How's it going? No, I never have, but I've listened to a lot of ex-Scientologists speaking out on YouTube over the last few years. And it's just all the stories and the abuse that they went through. I mean, we're not just talking about physical abuse or financial abuse. It's abuse of the mind, first and foremost. Okay, yeah.
I lived with a girl in London. She got roped into it. They just prey on people who are.
Well, a vulnerable moment in your life, which we all have them.
Yeah, you have a bad moment.
You know, we're all susceptible at some point if they get you at the wrong time in your life. Do you know what I mean? And then because they do appear to be so friendly, and you kind of, you off guard, you kind of trust them because you think, oh geez, I met this most wonderful person. So yeah, so that's why. But do you know what the heartbreaking thing is? The way people do get. Right. You know what the heartbreaking thing is? The way someone can get roped in very quickly. In a matter of a few weeks, you can be fully invested and think this is the best thing since sliced bread. When I first started coming out, they called the guards on me a couple of times. They tried to say by me standing there is harassing staff members going in and out. Like, they blatantly make things up and lie.
She was Australian.
Yeah.
She got so roped into it, she went to their base in California.
Lovely man stopped to talk to her. He had lived with a young woman from Australia who got roped into it and then shipped off to California Gold Base.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. It's not an easy place to live, because once they have you, they don't want to let you go because it's so hard to rope in new people. I would well believe. I've heard similar stories to that as well.
So have you any friends who got taken into this?
Check out Irish Mart. She did a great job. Roger was out there with her, and this lovely man spoke to her, and it's really hard to hear him sometimes. Just want to show you proof of life. Little Roger was out there protesting too. Love you, Roger. Thank you for the good work. His own little wee signs. So adorable. Lastly, I have a bonus clip. It is not Scientology based, but it's one of our former, current, potentially Scientology protesters. Jacob Harkey was out at a protest in Los Angeles. Come on, share. Here we go.
And if history has taught us anything, it's that if we stand up and fight back, then we can and will win. And we don't even have to go that far back in history. Look just earlier this year in Minnesota. What did Trump try to
Little proof of life from Jacob Harkey. I'll show you him really quickly if I can find him. I have to maybe go to the very end. There we go.
Are, but if you are in the United States especially, I encourage you to raise your voice, speak out against this war on Iran, as well as the continued aggression on the rest of the region, the continuing genocide in Palestine, continued aggression on Lebanon. We must stand against imperialism, especially within the imperial core. Thank you.
One of our lovely OG squirrels, still at it, still going to protests, still being strong and amazing. Thank you, Jacob Harkey. That wraps up my clips for the day. Hey, Rika's here. Oh, no, Irish. Irish said, although she nearly forgot Rogers, she was walking out the front door when I remembered. Wow, thank goodness she didn't leave the little lad behind. He's valuable to have a second set of eyes on you at a protest and not go out alone. Yeah, that would have been devastating to poor little Roger. Thank you guys for coming in. Let's see. Oh, we have Public Works call today, 10 o'clock Pacific time, which would be 1 o'clock Eastern time. And I'm not 100% sure because of the fallback thing. I think you guys haven't fallen back yet in Europe. So I think that makes it, I'm trying to do the math. I think that makes it 8 o'clock in Ireland and 9 o'clock in Europe PM, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm getting it mixed up. So check that out and give us some support. And then what else? Oh, we have a surprise interview this week. I told you it was going to be Moose on the Loose. Well, that got pushed back. That's going to take place next week. Guess who I'm interviewing? Or I already interviewed them. I already edited it. It's all ready to roll. Big surprise. Some of you know that I was going to interview this person. Have you figured it out? Any guesses in chat? It's exciting. I'm excited. I'm excited to share this unusual, important story with you guys. Amy. Yes, Jill. I got the Amy interview done. Did that yesterday. It was really good. Yeah, the time zones are all messed up with you guys rolling back your clocks. Yeah. So I think that makes you 9 hours different from me now, Irish. And then in Western Europe, 10 hours, if I'm not mistaken. But double check because it's just as likely that I am mistaken. So Public Works coming up. Ganja Girl's in chat. It's a good time to remind you that Ganja Girl is going to be doing a lot of the Public Works calls with me. So that's really exciting. She was doing them before me and she took a break, so I picked up the reins, but she's back, guys. So you have to run over to Ganja Girl's channel, give her some subs, give her all the likes, and you have that to look forward to. You want to change times to be gone so badly? Well, all it is getting up an hour earlier, and you can like wean yourself into that, or titrate yourself into that. Just get up like a half hour earlier for a few days before. It's really not a big deal. And it saves millions of dollars in an environmental waste too, by cutting back electricity. So I'm all for it. I don't have a problem with it. It's like you can't get up a little bit earlier. Yeah, just go to bed a little earlier. Get up a little earlier. It's really not that complicated, but it was something fun to complain about back in the Obama days when everything was going great, and we really didn't have time we really didn't have anything else to complain about. Now that we have President Shit Show in office, we have everything to complain about. It's funny how little you hear about the time change. But, people always want to have something to complain about. So back in the Obama days when everything was going great, that was the one thing everyone was harping on, because everything else was going great. It's not a scam. It saves millions of dollars each year, and it's better for the environment. And it's just a slight change. You can't get up a little bit earlier. It's not a big deal. You can titrate yourself into it. Get up a little earlier each day by 15 minutes for the week before. It's really not a big deal. Anyway, that's my take on it. You do you. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions on it, and it affects different people differently. But that is it. Another good thing I should mention is that they are having the police commissioners meeting tomorrow. So that should be lit. Audit LA will probably be there. Laura, Streets LA, probably Ashley. So that'll be exciting to see. We have that to look forward to. Thanks, guys. I'm going to go. I appreciate everyone coming in. Hey, Carrie Ann's here. Hi. Hey, Carrie Ann. Kathy. Good to see you. Amy's here. Amy said she loves going to bed early. Well, anyway, have a great day. Thank you guys for coming, and I'll see you at Public Works Call in just 2.5 hours, give or take. Bye, guys. Have a great day.
Then I hear from me.